Very good evening, students. Today, I'm continuing the last lecture of the topic structure. From my last lecture, what we came to know where we can use this structure and what are the structure variables, what are the member variables, how to declare a structure, how we can take input from a user for a structure variable, how we can access those members of a structure through structure variable by using dot operator. This much we have discussed in the last lecture. Today, I start my discussion with the topic structure initialization. Like other variables, normal variable, we can initialize a variable that we know. What is the meaning of initialization? The meaning of initialization is at the time of declaration. At the time of declaration, if we assign any value to the variable, at the time of declaration, if we assign any value to the variable, that is called the initialization. And earlier we have initialized a normal variable. We initialized an array variable also. Today, I'm going to initialize a structure variable. How we can initialize a structure variable? Say this is the example of my last lecture. I'm modifying this example depending upon the topic that I am going to discuss. So I'm modifying the same example by for the purpose of initializing a structure variable. So I'm declaring one more structure variable of type EMP, say it is E3, and I'm initializing those structure variables by this way within braces. What are the members of this structure variable? Rather, what are the members of this structure? It's ID, salary, name. These are the three members of this struct EMP. So I have to provide the value of these three members. First one is ID. Say I'm putting the value 101. Second one is salary, say 1400. And the last is the name. I'm putting the value name, say ABCXYZ. So in this way, we can initialize our structure variable. Try to print the value of these variables. Say this is the part that is used to print. I just make it copy. This is for employee 3 that I have initialized just now. Printing the ID of employee 3. So E3.id, it is E3.salary, and that is E3.name. Let me run the program. So employee 1 have to provide the data of for first two employees, that is employee 1. So I'm giving 100. Second parameter, second input was salary. So 1300, I'm putting the salary, and the name is say ABC. Second employee details, say it is 200. Putting the salary, say 1400. So 400 I'm putting, and the name is HIJ. Look at the third part, this part, details of employee 3, because these two data I have already just put now, but this data is coming from the initialization. There is employee 3, 1400, and the name I have given ABC space XYZ. So this is coming. So in this way, we can initialize. In this way, we can initialize a structure variable, just like an array variable, just like a normal variable. We can initialize a structure variable also. That is the point needs to be highlighted first. So I hope this part is clear. Moving to the next topic regarding structure. The next topic is a structure variable can be assigned to another structure variable if and only if they are of same type. I'm once again repeating, a structure variable can be assigned to another structure variable if and only if they are of same type. Suppose I'm considering, in this example, I'm considering one more structure variable, say E4, fine. And after taking input for first two, E1 and E2, E1 and E2, I'm writing E4, E4 is equal to E2. So my question is, will it work? Answer is yes, it will work, because a structure variable can be assigned to another structure variable if and only if they are of same type. Here E4 and E2 both belongs to the structure EMP. Both belongs to the structure EMP. So that's why the value of E2 can easily be assigned to the variable E4, just like a normal variable. In the normal variable, if I write x equal to y, what it means? The value of y gets assigned to x. Similarly, as because both E4 and E2 are of the same structure, they are declared under the same structure EMP, that's why the value of E2 can be assigned to E4. If they are from the different structure, say one from EMP1, structure EMP1, if you have, in this program I have only one structure, that is EMP. Suppose, visualize it, you have two structure, one is EMP1, another one is EMP2. E2 is the variable which belongs to EMP1 and E4 is the variable which belongs to EMP2. Then in that case, this assignment operation cannot be done, because this in that case these two structure variables are not of the same type of. That's why. So if I put the value of, if I assign the value of E2 to E4, it will work, and if I check the output of this program, rather output of E4, then again just make it copy and paste over here. So it will be employee 4, E4.id, E4.salary, and E4.name. Let me run the program. Putting the data of employee 1, second employee 1300, name XYZ. Look, employee 4 data, this part. The ID is 200, salary is 1300, and name is XYZ. That's because I have written what I have written, E4 equal to E2. So the E4 data will be same with E2. The employee data that we have given, it is 200, 1300, and XYZ. That is comes for the value, rather variable employee 4, that is E4, is same. So assignment operator works fine here. So we can assign the value of one structure variable to another structure variable if and only if they are of the same type. Fine. I hope this much is clear to you. Do you have any doubt up to this? This two topic, one is structure initialization, another one is assignment operator that can be used to to use between two structure variable. One structure variable value can be assigned to another structure variable. I hope you don't have any confusion up to this. Fine. Moving to the next part. The next part is we can define a structure within another structure. That is, let's say, is it a type of nested structure? We can define a structure. We can define a structure within another structure. How? Let me take one more example. I'm writing one more program to show this. TRUC3. Say I'm considering a structure named date which has three members. One is first is day, second is year, both are integer, and another one I'm considering which is the month, that is a string. Fine. This is one structured definition I'm writing over here. Let me include the header file. Second structure, struct emp, struct date dob. Look what I'm doing over here. I'm explaining later on. Let me define the member variables. Second member I'm considering, say, float salary, just like previous. And the third member that I consider, that is name of the employee. Say it is 100. Fine. I hope this much is clear to you. What I am declaring here over here, I'm coming to main. Look what I am doing over here. This is my main structure right now. The name of the structure is emp, which has three member variables. We already know what is the meaning of member variables. First member variables is dob. What is the data type of this member variables dob? Struct date. Try to understand. DOB is not a member of type integer. DOB is not a member of type float, not char. It is another structured type of. That means the member DOB has four members. Under DOB you have not four, you have three members. What are those? One is day, another one is year, another one is month. Fine. So DOB is a structure variable of type date, and that date structure you have already declared. That is the point I need to highlight. The point is, the topic is, we can define a structure within another structure. So here we are defining, rather we are declaring a structure variable of another structure type. That structure type is already declared, rather defined just before of this. So it's a type of, better to say, it's a type of nested structure. Structure inside another structure. Now naturally next question comes, how we can access these members, right, like date, day, year, month, through this using dob, because I haven't declared any variable so far of type emp. Need to give a semicolon, that is the syntactical part of structured declaration. Fine. So far I haven't declared any variable of type emp, so I have to declare a variable of type emp. So name of the variable is e1. I can declare variable in this manner that I discussed in the last class. So I declared a variable e1 of type, which type? emp. Fine. So now I'm taking the input from user for the variable emp. So what we know? We know from earlier class that e1, the variable e1 has these three data members. Try to understand. The variable e1 has these three data members. What are those data members? Number one is dob, number two is salary, yes, salary, and number three is name. So when I am writing e1 dot salary, that means that is the salary of employee one. When I am writing e1 dot name, that is the name of employee one. That means the name of employee one. But what is the meaning of this e1 dot dob? Dob is because dob is the structure variable of type date. That means dob has three members as per the definitions of date. Which are those? Day, year, and month. So we have to access those day, year, and month through E1 via DOB. Through E1 via DOB. We cannot directly access those day, year, month from E1. Why? Because E1 is not the type of date. E1 variable is not the type of structured type date. E1 has a member of type date. The name of the member is DOB. So when I am writing e1.dob, actually we are accessing this member, and under dob we have these three. So to access day, year, and month from e1, what we have to write? e1.dob dot day. In this way, to access the member year from e1, what you have to write? e1.dob dot year. Just like this way, to access month, you have to write e1 dot dob dot month. So try to take input for the variable e1 and show the output of those input datas. So I'm writing printf slash and enter details of employee 1. Very nice. Second input is, first input is, say, float salary. Fine. Now take it first, day, year, and month. So what do you have to write? Day. So scanf percent %d ampersand, what I have to write? E1 dot, look, the variable comes, E1 dot ID is coming. These are not the variables of this structure type. Fine. E1 dot dob. Fine. Dot day. That is the input of the first member of dob, that is day. Second input, e1.dob.year. Third input, get s e1.dob.month. Fine. So that is over for the member variables. Input, taking input is over for the member variables. DOB, date of birth. Second input is salary for employee 1. That can be directly taken by using e1.sal %f comma ampersand e1.sal. Very nice. Not salary, it is sal. And the last input is, that is name. Get is name. Sorry, e1.name. Try to print this input set. Details of employee 1, percent d e1 day, e1 year, so put as I'm writing over here, e1 dob month, scanf printf let me execute the program. First one is the first data is the day, second one is the year, third one is the month. Say 11, second is the month, say 12, and third one is the, sorry, second one is the year and third one is the month, say July. So it is skipping because what it, where from where it gets skipped, it gets skipped before this much it is taken. Fine. From this line it gets skipped. Salary field is not taken. So what I have to write again, that is f flush std in, problem of buffer fullness. So if flush std is in used to clear the buffer because I faced the problem before taking input of this e1.salary. This much it works fine. Fine. It's taking input e1.dob.month. But when I'm trying to put,
স্যার ওখানে e1.emp.name লিখতে হতো ওই গেটস ফাংশনের ভেতরে
no, why I have to write, I have to put a if flush std in before this input line scanf because this line is, I'm facing problem from here. Let me execute once again and check whether it is running fine or not. Share content. Employee 1, first input is day 11, second input is year say 2012. Third input is month, say it is December. No. So another type of problem, another type of solution is there, that this input, that is input regarding string, the last day I have used this solution, the input regarding string part I'm putting at the end. Fine. Before that I am taking the integer input or the float input for other variables. The string input that I am taking at the last, that is the another type of solution of this type problem. So let me check once again. Employee 1, say day is 11, 2012 is the year, second month, or not month. Now I am to put the salary. Probably I have to put, after year I have to put the salary, then month, and then name. Fine. Salary say 1200, month August. Look, now it is working. And no, again a problem comes, name is not taking. So put one more f flush std in before this name. Salary, it is 1200, then it is August. No, it is not taking. It is not taking 11, employee 1 11 2012. Rather, this scanf, salary also not taken. Salary field, that is e1 dot salary, e1 dot salary float sal ampersand e1 dot salary. When I print the value, day, year, month, oh sorry, I put ampersand over here. So name cannot be taken here. Name is giving problem. Try to put it first. Let me check. Will it work or not? E1 dot name. Then putting I flush std in. Then taking this other variable's value. Date, year, then salary. No. Again problem comes.
স্ক্রিনটা দেখা যাচ্ছে না।
Ha. Problem comes before this month. Share employee 1, details of employee 1. First one I am putting the name. Fine, putting the name ABC. Then I am putting the day, year, salary. Day, year, salary. Fine. Now it's working fine. Then month. Look, now it is coming fine. So you have to do this permutation combination when you are facing this type of problem, because this is completely unknown type of, and this is coming for the buffer problem, because the buffer becomes full, and that's why you have to follow this permutation combinations, someone taking input first, someone later. So this way you can solve this problem. This type of problem may arise not only for structured programming. I also told this type of problem may arise for different kind of programming also. So you have to give a flush. If then also the problem not yet solved, then do this permutation combination, make some input first, then do other. This way you can solve this problem. So I hope you understood how we can define a nested structure. That is our discussion topic. I hope this is clear to you. Do you have any doubt regarding this nested structure declaration? Do you have any doubt? Fine. So there is another alternative. I may define this structure. I may define this structure here also, like this way. Struct date. Fine. These are the three members, and this is the variable. This is the structure variable DOB that I may declare like this way. So this is the alternative declaration of just the previous example I discussed. I may define the entire structure inside another structure. Save the program and try to execute. First one I've put the what is the order that I forgot. First one is the name, day, year, salary, month. Name, day, year, salary, month, August. Fine. Employee 1, 11, 2012 August. 1200 is the salary and name is the ABC. Fine. So this is the way we can define a structure inside another. So I hope this much is clear to you. Have you any doubt up to this? Next I am moving to the topic function, how the function relates with the structure. Fine. How we can pass a structure to a function. So we can pass a structure entirely to a function. Only one single element can also be passed. We can pass an array of structure. We can return a structure from a function. So before coming to the function, let me discuss one more topic, that is array of structure. That needs to be discussed. Then I will come to the topic structure and function. So I have taken an example of this employee, and here just my previous example I have declared the four employees, better to say, E1, E2, E3 and E4. Fine. Where E1, E2 data is taking from user, E3 is initialized, and later on I have done? I have assigned the value of E4, E2 to E4. Any doubt? Fine. No. So if I want to store the data of 100 employees, 200 employees, 300 employees, in this case we have only 4, I consider E1, E2, E3, 4. Instead of this 4, if I want to store 100, 200, 300 employees, what we will do? Definitely we need to take an help of an array, because as per the definitions of an array, we know that we can store the similar type of, rather homogeneous type of data under single variable name at a particular time instance. More than one we can store. So here we need to declare an array, and based on this I have already given you an assignment. So you have to do that assignment based on this concept. You have to consider an array. So here I want to store the, say, rather 3 employee data or 5 employee data. So I need to declare an array, and that array declaration is like this: struct emp, just like normal array declaration. Instead of data type, we have to write structure and the name of the structure. We have to follow this step for the array variable also. Struct emp, say I'm considering the array name is, say, arr, and I'm taking the size as 10. So what it means? It means each and every index of this array is an employee, is an employee, and as because it is a structured type employee, that means each and every index have this 3 members, that is ID, salary, and name. Each and every employee has these 3 members: ID, salary, and name, each and every index of this array. So try to take input for I'm just commenting out this part. Better to say I have to save this program in other, then I modify. So then I'm omitting this part. This is not required right now. This part is required. Fine. Omitting this part. Say int n, just like other program, I'm taking input from the user for how many variables, rather for how many employees. I will enter the data, enter the number of employees. Fine. That is taken inside n. Scanf %d comma ampersand n. So when I am taking input for n, I will definitely take help of a loop. I will not take it in the separate manner, just like the previous example. I will not follow the previous example steps. So instead of that, what I will do, definitely the array input, I have to use the rule of the array input, just like this: for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Fine. This is my for loop for the taking input, and I will just copy this part and paste over here. This is the scanf, and that will not be e1.id. What it will be? It will be the name of the array arr of I dot id. Similarly, when I am taking input for the salary, it will be arr of I dot salary, and it will be arr of I dot name, and instead of this line, what we'll write, I'm putting this line inside loop, enter the details of employee %d I plus 1. Why I plus 1? Because I starts from 0. So employee 1, it would be I plus 1, employee 2, 0 plus 1, 1 plus 1, in this way. So this part is not required, because using a single loop we can take input for n number of employees. So this part I am omitting. No. So I need to display the input set. So from where display starts, yes. So again I have to use the same type of loop. So for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, fine. Then I'm displaying the content of this array. Just writing this part inside loop. First I want to display the name, its ID. So it would be not e1.id, it would be arr of I.id. Salary will be arr of I.salary, and name would be arr of I.name. And this would be just like previous, %d I plus 1. And omit this part, not required. This is the assignment that I already discussed, not required. Fine. So this part also I removed, not required for this program, this declaration and this initialization. So I've just declared an array of employee, structure emp, an array of struct emp. Fine. So let me run the program. So number of employee, I'm putting only 3. Details of employee 1. What is the first input? First input is ID, then salary, then name. Fine. I have to follow this order when I'm giving the input. ID, say 100. Name, salary, 1200. Name is ABC. Employee 2, 200. Salary 1400. And name is say XYZ. Employee 3, 300. Employee ID, salary 1500. And name is say PQR. Look, these are the input set that I have just given. 100, 1200 ABC. For the second employee it is 200, 1400 XYZ. For the third employee it is 300, 1500 and PQR. So in this way, thing is that in this way we can take an array, to take input for more than, rather, n numbers of structure variable of same type of, and we can use those structure variables value for different purposes. we can do the sort operation, we can do different type of searching operations on that data, just like array sorting, array searching as previous we have done. We can do this on this type of data set. So do you have any confusion regarding this array of structure? Having any doubt? So we can declare this array just like as because it is behaving like a normal array. So we can declare this array, rather we can allocate the memory for this array and the runtime also by using those dynamic memory allocation functions like calloc, malloc, those functions. So I will discuss those things in the next class, because before that I have to introduce the pointer topic with this structure. Today I am not introducing the pointer with respect to structure. After discussion the relationship between the pointer and structure, then I will discuss this dynamic memory allocation of this array in case of structure variable, rather in case of array of structure variable. So next, one more thing I need to mention when I am talking about this array, how we can initialize this array of structure. We can initialize array of integer right now. How we can initialize the integer array? Just like this way. I'm writing, say if your array name is integer, array name is a, then how you can initialize this array? Just like this, 1 comma 2 comma 3, sorry, 1 comma 2 comma 3, in this way, right now. That is the initialization of an array of type integer, right? So similarly, you can initialize an array of this structured type also. How you can? Just like this way, note it down, struct emp a arr, better to say, array fine, one opening and closing braces for this is the end for entire array. Inside this you have to put, what do you have to put? You have to put each individual details of each individual index. What is your index? For 0th index value, first one is id. So I'm writing in the single lines. It will be, first one is your id, second one is the salary, and third one is the name. So it is ABC. Over. Fine. Sorry. Is over. Just a minute. Second one is id, salary, xyz. So that is a string. So must you have to write under double quotation. So in this way we can initialize a array of structure. Fine. So earlier I discussed how we can take input for each and every element of this array. Now we discussed that is how we can initialize this array. Fine. Next I am coming back to the topic, the function, structure and function. So we can pass a entire structure to the function. We can pass only one single element to the function. We can pass an entire array to a function as an argument, and we can return a structure from a function. That these four cases we need to discuss about the topic function. So start from very basic, going back to the previous program. So structure, struct, first program was struct 1. Yes, fine. So I'm just writing a very simple function, say void fun. It is taking struct. It is taking an entire structure variable. So that's why the data type of the parameter is structemp. I hope you understood. That is the function declaration syntax. You all know. It's a return type, it's a function name, and inside this bracket, what we need to mention, the data type of the parameter. So as because we will pass an entire structure over here, so that's why what I have written just the struct.emp, because the data type of the structure is struct.emp. Very nice. Next I am trying to define this function, void struct sorry fun struct emp, say e. You have to introduce a variable over here, so e. And inside this, what I am doing, I am just printing the details of this employee that I will pass here. Fine. That is e I passed. Fine. So forget about this line. So it will be e dot id, it will be e dot salary, and it will be e dot name. So I'm passing entire structure to the function. Try to understand. I'm passing entire structure to this function. So instead of this printing statement, e1 dot name employee 1 details, I'm removing this line, sir. e1 dot name. I'm just writing, I'm calling the function, rather to say, fun e1. Fine. And the very next part, that is details of employee 2, I'm omitting this part. Fun, it would be e2. Fine. Size, forget about this, not required for now. Assigning, after assigning, I am printing the value of e3 and e4. So details of e3, employee 3, fun e3. Fine. And details of employee 4. So I'm using function, I'm printing the details of employees e1, e2, e3 and e4. My function name is fun, and I'm passing the entire structure. I'm passing the entire structure to this function by this way. So what are the input set? In first input is E1 and E2. I have to give input ID, salary, and name. Nice. Share ID say 100, salary 1200, name ABC is 200, 1400, and XYZ is the name. Look, using function, I am displaying the details of employee 1, 2, 3, and 4. Employee 1, 2 data is given by the user. Employee 3 is initialized, and employee 4 is used. I've used an assignment operator to employee 4, E4. E1, E2 is taken from user, E3 is initialized, and E4 is assigned from E2. And I have calling the functions fun for displaying this data set, or the details of E1, E2, E3, and E4 by calling this function, and this is the function definition. I am passing entire structure to this function. What this function does is basically displaying the content, rather the member variable's value of that structure variable. Which type of parameter we have passed over here? Is it call by value or call by reference? So definitely it's a call by value, as because I haven't used any pointer concept over here. So if I change any value, rather if I modify any value of the member variables, it will not affect to the original place. That is the point needs to be highlighted. If you change any value to the member variable using this function, because I have used call by value concept over here right now. So if I change any value to the uh, member variable, that will not affect in the original place. So this is the first part of this function, that is passing entire structure to a function. I hope this much is clear. Second function that I'm going to write. Second function I'm going to write, that is the function where I pass a particular member, where I pass a particular member to the function. Let me write one more function. Say void fun1. Say I'm passing only the salary of the employee. So the member of the salary is float. Try to understand. Previous one I have passed the entire structure variable. Now I try to pass only the one member of that structure. I am trying to pass the salary member. So that's why definitely the parameter type of that member is float. So as a parameter I have written float. Fine. So trying to define the function one, which is a float type parameter, float x, try to say. So say I'm incrementing and try to increment the value of x plus equal to say 100, and the increased salary is because it is float. So increased salary equal to say x. Fine. So I've just increased the salary by 100 rupees. Nothing else I have done over here. So I'm using this function look in this part. So fun e1 before printing the value. Before printing the value, say I'm calling fun1. Fun1 e1 dot salary. Sal or salary? Sal. What is the member name? No, salary. So e1 dot salary. Here I am passing what? E1 dot salary. That is employee 1 dot salary. Fine. The salary will be increased, but it will not affect to the original place. Where? As because I have done this, or rather I have implemented this concept by using call by value, not call by reference. So that's why e1 dot salary is get copied to the variable x. Try to understand. It is the concept of coming from the function. The variable's value e1 dot salary will be copied to variable x. And what we are doing, we are modifying the value of x. The address of this x and the address of e1 dot salary is not same. So that's why when I am when I am printing this modified value, this is coming from different address and it is not reflected in the original place. So that's why if I let me check the output and then explain it. So I'm putting the value of employee 1. The order needs to give ID, then salary, then name. Fine. So ID, say 100, then salary, so it is 200, name ABC, employee ID 101, 300, and name I am putting XYZ. Look, this is the details of employee 1. Salary remains 200. But as I called the function fun1 before the printing of this employee 1, the increased salary it is showing 300, but it is not increased in the original place. So that's why original place salary remains 200 as it is as earlier. Before increase function call, it was 200 and it remains 200 still after increasing the value. It's because this operation is done by the concept of using call by value. Address is different, so modified result is not reflected in the original place. I hope you understood this much. So two concepts we came to know. First one is how we can pass the entire structure to a function, and the second is we are passing only one structure element as an argument. I hope this much is clear to you. One more thing I will discuss, and then I conclude today's class, that is passing entire array of structure to the function, rather passing an array to the function. Earlier we have used this concept, passing an array to the function. Today we will pass an array of structure to the function. Just the example that I discussed using array. Which one? No, not this one. Yes, no, yes, this one. So I have taken an array. Fine, fine. I have taken input for those array. I am displaying this part not from main. I will display this part not from main, that I will display from function. So I have to pass this entire array to the function. So I am considering a function, say taking a function, say void display, fine. Struct emp is the data type of this array. I am passing an array as a parameter, that's why I have given an array symbol. Fine. Now what I have to do? Void display. Very simple, just like earlier. Normal array concept. Void display. Struct emp. I'm putting an array name, say A. giving a size say 10, and inside this I want to display the details of this all employees. So I'm just copy and pasting this part inside function. Before that, I must need to declare an array, rather int I. Fine. And here instead of arr I have to write a. That's because it is coming through a. Here I am declaring the array variable name as a. So I have to write a of I, and a of I. So what I have done, I have taken input for the employee in this array from main, but I am displaying the output by using a function named display, which is void. Return type of this function is void. N undeclared. So need to pass one more, that is number of employee. So one more integer. So second parameter I am considering integer over here, and here, oh, I haven't called the function. So I have to call the function. First one is the name of the function is display. Here the array name is arr. To call a function as a parameter, array name is sufficient, and second parameter is the number of employee n. And here I am declaring one more n inside this function, int n, to signify the number of employees. I have passed that n value from here, arr comma n, and here I am accessing that arr by using a, and n is the number of employee. Fine. ID, what is the order, input order that I have put over here, ID, salary, name. Fine. So number of employees, let me share the output screen. Number of employees say 3, ID 1, salary 100, name ABC, ID 2, salary 200, name XYZ, ID 3, salary 300, name PQR. Look, so I'm displaying the content of this array not from main, by using some another function, that is display, and I have passed an entire array of structure to this function display. So that is the topic I need to highlight through this example. I hope this is clear to you. Do you have any doubt up to this? So no question from your side, so that means that it is clear to you. Fine. So thank you. We are concluding this class over here. So I will discuss the pointer to structure in the next class, dynamic memory allocation of the structure variable in the next class, and the self-referencing structure. These three topics are left. This I will discuss on the next class. Probably I will take the next class after mock test. Fine. Means on the next week. Our mock test is on Saturday probably. Fine. So prepare yourself. Okay. Thank you.